In today's video, I'll be doing a house review of a new fragrance house that has been getting a lot of buzz. If you're interested in hearing my thoughts on the House of Dastan, then just keep watching. Hi, my name is Ayesha from simplyayesha.com. Here on YouTube, I make videos about fragrance, beauty, luxury, and lifestyle. If those are things you're interested in, please subscribe. And if you are a returning subscriber, hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. So as I said, in today's video, we will be talking about the House of Dastan. If you've never heard of this fragrance brand, they are relatively new. I actually found out about them in December of 2024 when I went to Scent Explore. I was able to smell some of their fragrances. And so I kind of already had a wish list going. So when they reached out to me, I was very happy to try some of their fragrances and review them for you all. So this video is sponsored by House of Dastan. So thank you so much to the brand for partnering with me on this video. So although this video is sponsored, of course, I will be giving you guys my honest opinions like I always do. And I hope that you find this video interesting and find at least one fragrance that you may like. So before we get into the ranking of the fragrances, I do want to give you guys a little bit of background on the fragrance company. So like I said, it's called the House of Dastan. It was created by a brother and sister duo who happen to be Persian and live in New York City. They've actually been involved in the fragrance industry for a long time with the brand Max Aroma, which I feel like if you're watching YouTube fragrance videos, then you have heard of Max Aroma. They've been around for a long time. I've shopped with them for years. So these fragrances are available at maxaroma.com or houseofdastan.com. Make sure you check out my description box. I'll have links down there for you all. So one thing I did want to point out before we get into the fragrances is I love the design of these bottles. Look at them. So this is what the bottle looks like. It is very detailed. It feels quite heavy. The cap is plastic, but it feels quite substantial, does not feel cheap at all. And I just really love all the detail work. And because they are a company that pays attention to detail, these bottles were inspired by Persian palaces. So I thought that was really cool because these bottles definitely feel and look royal to me. So without further ado, we will be getting into the fragrances. I do have 6 fragrances from the brand. All of these were sent to me. There is one more fragrance that I do not have. So hopefully I'll be able to get my nose on that one soon. But I'll be ranking the 6 that I have from my least favorite to my most favorite. So let's go ahead and get into this review. So in 6th place, we have the fragrance You. So this is one of their travel sizes, and you can see the bottle is still very detailed. Like, you don't usually see travel sprays that look like this. So this is a travel spray, but it still looks just as good as the original bottle. Very, very nice detailing on this. So anyway, in 6th place, this is the fragrance You. And this fragrance, I have to say, obviously it's not my favorite. It's number 6 for me. This fragrance, what I get is a lot of fig, milk, and like a woodiness. I believe it's sandalwood. I know some of you all who may be watching this video, I could be new to you all. So just to give you guys a little insight into how I do my fragrance reviews, I like to tell you guys how I think the fragrance smells. Sometimes I get the notes correct. Sometimes I do not. I will always have the notes on the screen for you all though. But I feel that it's more helpful for me to give you guys what it smells like to me as opposed to just reading you the notes and coming up with what it smells like based off that. So hopefully you guys find that helpful. Anyway, to me, what I get is fig, a milkiness, and a woodiness that kind of smells like sandalwood. Also smells like there could be cardamom in here. Definitely some spiciness to this fragrance. So looking at the notes of this fragrance, before I got this fragrance in, I thought that I would enjoy it because I believe it came off like as a spicy, milky scent, which is right up my wheelhouse. However, on my skin, it just doesn't work for me because the fig is quite prominent. Now, I am a person who does not like fig. So if you like fig, I really think you would like this. If you like something like Gris Charnel from BDK, I really think you would like this. It's just not my speed, but it is quite interesting. It's warm, it's milky, and it smells like something that you would wear on like a cold and rainy day if this is your zhuzh. It's just not for me because I really don't like fig. And I found that every time I try a fragrance with fig, I usually end up not liking it, but I am happy to have tried this. I will hold on to it and see if it grows on me because like I said, I feel like it is a good rainy day scent. but it's just not my favorite out of the bunch that they sent. Now, I know you guys are going to ask about projection and longevity, and I will say that for all of these fragrances, I have worn them on skin. Some of them I've worn more than once. Some of them I've only worn once, like this one. But as far as projection and longevity, I feel like I got a similar projection and longevity for all of these fragrances. So I'll tell you what my projection and longevity is right now, but going forward is going to be about the same for all of them, just to let you guys know. So for me, I feel like I get average projection and longevity, meaning that as far as projection, if somebody can smell it on me, if somebody's standing maybe like 4 feet away from me, I feel like they can smell it on me for the first like 3 hours or so. So I feel like that's pretty average. Like, people can smell it on you, but people are not going to smell you before they see you. I don't feel like these fragrances are like super beast mode. So if that's what you're looking for, I don't know that these fragrances are that. They aren't on me anyway, but they are present and people will smell them on you. As far as longevity, for me, these fragrances, I pretty much got across the board, maybe about 6 hours I wear out of them. Some of them turn into skin scents quicker than others. I felt like this one I could smell on myself really well for like 6 hours, maybe because I'm not a fan of fig, so I felt like I can smell it more. But for the most part, these fragrances last on my skin around the 6-hour mark before they turn into like full-on skin scents. And then you can still maybe detect them if you're really trying, but I would say the longevity on basically all of these fragrances is around the 6-hour mark. So again, that is you. This next fragrance is called Light Breeze. So this fragrance is actually one that I smelled at Scent Explorer and remember really loving. Like, I took a picture of it, I put it on my wish list. And so when the brand reached out to me, I knew that this is one of the ones I wanted to try. However, you can see it's in 5th place and we'll talk about that. So this fragrance to me smells like a green breeze. So I get some greenness, some freshness to this, but then I also get this airy kind of smell. So a solar, breezy type vibe. This puts me in the mind of an aquatic fragrance, even though it doesn't necessarily smell like water. It just has that kind of oceanside sea breeze type of air type of smell to it. It is quite fresh. It is a little bit spicy. There is some woodiness to it that I can pick up as well, but mainly it's like a fresh, spicy sea breeze air kind of scent. So to me, this comes off quite clean, and I think the reason that I really enjoyed it at Scent Explorer, if you don't know what Scent Explorer is, it is a fragrance convention. So there are so many smells in the room, like everywhere, okay? So sometimes it's kind of hard to determine what you're really into there because there's so many smells everywhere. So this fragrance was one of my favorites at Scent Explorer, like my favorite from the brand, and I think it's because it was fresh and it was different than what I was smelling. But when I got it home and I actually put it on my skin, I kind of feel like it leans a little bit masculine on me. Obviously, these fragrances are unisex. You wear what you feel comfortable with. But I will just say that the reason it's in 5th place for me is because on my skin, I felt like it came off a little bit more masculine than what I was expecting. I do still really enjoy this. Love the smell of this, and I'm actually going to give this to my husband for him to wear because I love the smell of it, but I just felt like I was wearing a man's cologne when I was wearing it. But it still smells very good. It smells very fresh. It is uplifting, perfect for summertime. So if you're into these type of scents and you're looking for a new one to try, I feel like you should definitely get your nose on this because even though it's a fresh, spicy scent, and I feel like there are a lot of fresh, spicy scents on the market, this one smells unique. So definitely would recommend you getting your nose on it. And again, that is Light Breeze. This next fragrance is called Game of Joy. So I've actually already mentioned this fragrance on my channel because when I got it, I could not resist. I had to share it with you all because this is a juicy, fruity fragrance. This smells like a tropical drink. It smells delicious. So to me, it smells like a mixture of fruits, with one of them being mango, maybe possibly some guava in here as well. But it definitely smells like a mixture of tropical fruits, possibly some melon as well to me. It smells very juicy. It also smells a little bit musky and a slight bit of woodiness in the dry down of this fragrance. When I first spray it, it just smells like refreshing, like tropical fruit juice. But as this fragrance dries down, I do get a little bit of woodiness that gives it a little bit of base. So it's not just a juicy fragrance. And I actually think the other things that go into this fragrance make it more unisex in my opinion, because at first to me, smelling this, it smells feminine. But as I actually wore this on my skin, I definitely think a man could pull this off as well, as long as you're into fruity fragrances. It also kind of has this cooling scent to it, almost like there's some mint somewhere in this fragrance. Not sure if there is, but overall this is juicy, fruity goodness, perfect for summertime. I wouldn't wear this during the winter because I feel like it's just too fun and fruity for that. But during the summer, especially if you live in a hot or humid climate, I feel like this is perfect. And I have worn this one at least twice, maybe 3 times, but perfect for hot weather. And it's a more unique fruity scent in my opinion. So again, that's Game of Joy. So in second place, we have Love Flame. So this one you can see I have in a travel spray, and I honestly wish I had in a big bottle because it is that good, y'all. This is definitely my type of fragrance. So to me, it smells like a mixture of like vanilla, a bit of a powdery iris, some chocolate or cocoa, and something kind of resinous, maybe like incense or something in this fragrance. It is gorgeous. If you like iris fragrances, you must get your nose on this. This is definitely what I would call a darker iris type of fragrance. So one that I would wear fall, winter. It's deeper. It has those gourmand elements to go with it. And it is just intoxicating. You can see I've already used up like half of my, not half, but I've used up a decent amount of my travel spray. And I've worn this twice. And I felt like the second time I wore this, I was like, let me be mindful of my sprays because I don't want to use up this travel spray because I love this fragrance. And I do think it would be more well suited for colder weather. And I'm probably going to put it away until like the fall, to be honest, because I really want to smell this on myself when it's cooler outside. I was able to wear this on a hot day. The first time I wore it, I was actually just at home, so that didn't matter. But the second time I wore it, I wanted to see how it did. And I actually went out, ran errands. It didn't feel overpowering. It didn't feel too thick. So if you like these types of scents and you're fine wearing them during the warm weather, then still check this out now. But for me, I'm going to save it for colder weather, but I absolutely love this fragrance. Absolutely. This was definitely a love at first sniff for me. So again, that is Love Flame. And then in the number 1 spot, I have their newest fragrance. This was just released. So all the other fragrances were released at the same time, but this one was just released this past weekend. And I have it. And I've been wearing it and hiding it from you all because I wasn't able to talk about it yet, but I absolutely love it. So this fragrance is called Unseen. So as you may guess from the name, this is definitely more of a skin scent type of fragrance. So to me, this smells like a molecular fragrance that has some milky notes to it, some sugary facets to it, and then that airy woodiness that you often will get from molecular type scents. I love this. If you love a good, like clean, musky type scent, you have to get your nose on this because this is definitely giving clean muskiness, but there is that little bit of sweetness to this, slight bit of milkiness to it. If you don't like milk fragrances, don't let the milkiness part scare you because to me, it smells more like a milky sandalwood as opposed to like straight 2% milk, you know? So don't let that scare you off if you like these kinds of scents. I happen to love these kind of scents and I find this incredibly easy to wear. I've worn this fragrance alone and I've worn it on hot days and it has never felt too much. It just makes me feel clean, but cool girl vibes for sure. I've actually layered this with Light Breeze as well. This is actually the combo I wore to the gym this morning. And I feel like when you layer with a fragrance like this, yes, it can improve performance of other fragrances, but I layered it because I wanted a little bit of like added milky sweetness to Light Breeze without going like the super sugary vanilla route, if that makes sense. This is absolutely stunning. Definitely year-round appropriate, but I can see myself wearing this a ton this summer. This is the one that I've worn the most out of all of these, and I definitely could see this being an easy reach for me in the future. And I don't feel like I have to really overspray it too much. Like I overspray it like I do all my fragrances. But for it to be like a milky, musky, molecular type scent, I don't feel like I have to go like too ham just to smell it on myself. Like I feel like I can smell this one really well, which is something to be said when it comes to these types of scents. I feel like a lot of people with fragrances that are in this kind of scent category, a lot of people can't smell them. But this one, I can smell on myself quite well. I don't know if that's just me. or if it's the fragrance, but I love this fragrance and you have to get your nose on this one, okay? If you like those types of scents, you definitely need to get your nose on this. So again, that is Unseen. So those are the fragrances that I have from the House of Dastan. Again, thank you to the House of Dastan for sending me these fragrances to try and for sponsoring this video. If you guys are interested in any of these fragrances, make sure you check out my description box. I will have links to all of them down below. Overall, I do recommend this brand. I think they have a variety of fragrances that will suit different types of people. So definitely check them out. Check out their website. Maybe you might find something you like. If you guys enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Also, make sure you have that notification bell on so that you don't miss a video from me. In the description box, remember, I'll have links to the fragrances, but I will also have links to everywhere else you can find me. So my website and my social media, which right now is Instagram and TikTok. I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.